If you're listening to this alone, in the dark, I want you to do one thing right now. Look at your door. Because what happened to this guy always started with a knock, then a shadow, and then something standing right behind him. This happened in a small town in the United States called Ashwood, a place where nights are unnaturally quiet. So quiet that sometimes even your own breathing starts to feel strange. Ryan, a 24-year-old guy, had just moved into this town. He rented a cheap apartment, nothing special, just a place he could afford. But there was one thing about that apartment, something no one told him. The first night, everything felt normal. Ryan turned off the lights and tried to sleep, but just as he closed his eyes, knock, knock, his eyes snapped open. He sat up, staring at the door. Silence. He slowly got up, walked to the door, and opened it. No one was there, he sighed, thinking it was just his imagination. But a few seconds later, knock, 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 this time louder. Ryan froze. His heart started pounding in his chest. He walked toward the door again, but this time, he didn't open it. Instead, he leaned in and looked through the peephole, and what he saw made his blood run cold, right outside the door. Standing perfectly still was a girl, long black hair, covering her entire face, her head slightly tilted, her body swaying. Slowly, unnaturally, as if something was moving her. Not the wind! Ryan stumbled back in fear, turning on all the lights. When he looked again, she was gone, but that night didn't end there. At exactly 3:07 a.m., Ryan woke up again. This time, there was no knocking, just a sound. From inside his apartment, drip, 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 water. Ryan slowly turned his head toward the kitchen. The lights were off, but he could hear it clearly, something wet, dripping onto the floor. He grabbed his phone, turned on the flashlight, and walked toward the sound. Each step felt heavier, slower, like something didn't want him to reach there. When he reached the kitchen, the sink was off, but the floor was completely wet, as if someone had been standing there for a long time, dripping water. Ryan's breathing got faster, and then suddenly, knock, knock. This time, not from the door, from inside the wall. Ryan froze, staring at the wall. Another knock, closer, like something was moving. Inside, he stepped back slowly, whispering to himself, "This isn't real. This isn't real." The next day, Ryan asked his neighbor about it. The man went silent for a few seconds, then said something that didn't make any sense. "If you hear knocking at night, never open the door." Ryan laughed nervously. "Why, is this some kind of joke?" The neighbor looked him dead in the eyes. "She wants to come inside." Ryan frowned. "Who?" But the neighbor didn't answer. He just slowly closed his door. That night, Ryan couldn't sleep. He kept staring at the door, waiting. Midnight passed, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., nothing. And just when he thought it was over, knock, just one knock. Ryan stood up instantly. This time, something felt different. The air was colder, heavier. He walked to the door. His hand slowly reached for the handle. And without thinking, he opened it. The hallway was empty. No girl, no sound. Nothing, but the floor was wet again. Fresh footprints leading away. Ryan followed them, step by step. They led him to the end of the hallway, to a dark stairwell. The door was slightly open, creaking. He pushed it open. Inside, complete darkness, and then a whisper right behind him. "You open the door." Ryan spun around. No one. Then again, closer. "You let me in." The door slammed shut behind him. Bang! Ryan panicked, trying to open it, but it wouldn't move. From below, something started crawling up. A wet, dragging sound, slowly, step by step, and then she appeared. The same girl, but now her face visible, pale, cracked, black eyes, and a horrifying smile, water dripping endlessly. She looked at Ryan and whispered, "You shouldn't have opened it." The lights went out. Darkness swallowed everything. Ryan screamed, but no one came. Days later, Residents started complaining, knocking sounds from inside their homes, walls, closets, even under their beds. Police returned to Ryan's apartment. This time, something was different. The walls were wet, and if you listened closely, you could hear knocking from inside, and then a faint voice whispering, "Open the door." Ryan was never found, and now they say she doesn't knock from outside anymore. She waits inside for you to listen, and once you do, you're next.